Alright, so about 30 minutes ago, I just got done watching a movie called The Holdovers. And I'm not gonna spoil it, at least not yet anyway, but I will say though that this movie taught me a lot about the holidays and what it actually means. So previously, about a year ago, I made a video where I talked about how I don't really like Christmas because, you know, you have to see your family, you don't know them too much, you have like weird aunts or uncles or something like that, the food's weird, and on top of that, I said something along the lines of like, you don't always get the presents that you want or something like that. But if I'm gonna be honest, I was wrong. I was really wrong. That is not what the holidays are about, or what they should be about. If anything, that makes me look cringier more than I actually am. So the movie I watched is called The Holdovers. It is about how people in the Barton Academy in Christmas 1970 were left behind in their boarding school. Yes, this does include the faculty as well. But as the movie goes on, you start to feel a somber feeling. And it's not sadness, but it's not like happiness either. It's hard to explain. This movie taught me why the holidays are so important, and how I literally take it for granted. And that's all because what? I'm like greedy and I'm wanting presents and I'm basically being selfish. This movie kind of made me get a grip on reality. So most of the year, I tend to complain about a lot of things. And if I'm going to admit it, I tend to overlook the things I'm given, even my friends and family. Yes, material possessions I overlook, but a lot of the times I overlook my friends and my family and what impact they have on me as a person. And I feel bad for that. I shouldn't be doing that. I even overlook you guys, and I shouldn't be doing that. I'm extremely grateful for you guys, even you watching this video. I don't know you, but I'm glad that you're watching this video. In the movie, the main characters are essentially left behind, both like literally and metaphorically. But like, let me explain that. The main guy, Tully, that's his name, Tully, he is left behind by his mom because she wants to go spend her honeymoon with some rich new husband that she just met like 2 or 3 months prior for Christmas. So this guy also got left behind by his dad because his dad is like gone. If you know what, I'm not gonna say it, but his dad is like gone, like gone forever. And he has to spend the holidays essentially by himself with no friends and no family. He's literally holding over at the boarding school because he has like literally nowhere else to go, and his mom like rejected him. The odd thing though is that he's kind of like rich. He's like a rich guy. He has money, so in theory he should be happy. He should be really happy. If anything, for Christmas he got like hundreds of dollars. I counted it was like $500 he got for like Christmas, which in today's money is like double, so that's like what, just over $1,000 in today's money. He got like $1,000 for Christmas, but he still isn't happy. So even though he has all the money and the things he could want, jackets, clothes, everything, as he comes from a rich family, what he truly craves though, what everyone truly craves, is family and friends and those around you, being close. Throughout the movie, there are very scenic shots of like icy cold weather in this big empty boarding school house. And funny enough, as I was watching this movie, my mom and my dad were watching like the Gladiator 2 movie, and it just came out, so I was like by myself watching this movie in like my house. So it was like immersion, like actual immersion, and it made me feel lonely. It made me feel the same way that he felt. I was on this trip together with him, and it made me feel so lonely and how I take it for granted. I mean, I was like literally in the living room, like with a bunch of Christmas decorations all by myself, no one to spend it with. I was by myself. And as I was watching this movie, I felt an overwhelming feeling of somber and despair. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but as I was watching a story unfold through the eyes of another person who wasn't as fortunate as me to have people around, even though they was completely fictional, it still had a big impact on me and how I view the holidays now. But the end of the movie presents us with a dilemma. The dilemma is, should we be happy? And yes, I know how that sounds, but genuinely, are you or should you be happy with your life right now? Typically, a Christmas movie follows a formula of having like 2 characters or whatever, or a few characters, and have a wholesome happy ending, right? Well, I'm just gonna say it. This movie didn't have that. It didn't have a happy ending. It wasn't a sad ending, but it wasn't happy. It was a neutral ending. It was honestly a bit vague, and I don't know how to say it without spoiling it, but I had some pretty weird feelings after the movie. But the thing is, I kind of was okay with that. The ending showed me that although you can be lonely at times, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily alone. There are still others that are willing to help you and talk to you. And I know that sounds cheesy, but let me continue, alright? I know this sounds like a lot, but like I'm overanalyzing a movie, which I probably am. But the thing is, the movie was also teaching you about how to overcome grief, which is something that I think I could honestly benefit from, and how I think a lot of us could. A lot of the times when something upsets me, I like to hold on to it with like a very strong grip, and I don't like to move on. I don't know why I do that, but I just do. But that's not what this movie taught me. This movie's view on grief is that you have to feel the pain in order to work through it. You don't just discard the pain. If you're getting anything, you have to only work through the pain, and it's by only then that you can move past it and become a stronger version of yourself, but only by feeling the pain, recognizing what you feel, and working through it, rather than just discarding it. Something that I've noticed is that the movie, like the friendships we made along the way, blah blah blah, honestly does impact you. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. Like a lot of the times, it's through purely reaching out and being vulnerable with others that true friendship can actually form and can help you in life. Like, let me give you an example. I go to college, and on campus, sometimes I see these two guys that I used to go to middle school with. Sometimes I see them together, and in the almost 4 years I've been there, they have never once talked to anybody else. And the thing is, whenever I've been around them or whatever, because I kind of had to, they were in my classes a few times, they act the same way as they did in middle school. Like, they act kind of low-key immature. I'm not even gonna hold you. The thing is, though, is that I can only assume that this has happened because they haven't branched or grown as a person. Like, in the metaphorical sense. Like, they haven't socially grown, and thus they haven't, like, grown beyond their mindset. I don't know. I know I'm sounding bizarre, but just hear me out. Whereas with me, when I first started college, I tried to branch out as much as I could. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I was hurt. A lot of the times it did hurt whenever people wouldn't text back, or I was ghosted or whatever, or people would say that I'm not cool to hang out with, which is fine. I guess I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But it was through all this that I found one of my most closest friends in the entire world. His name is Sam, alright? I don't know if he's watching this or not. I hope that he isn't, because this is gonna be a bit sappy, but funny enough, we sat next to each other for like weeks and we never really talked or did anything. And that's because I thought that we wouldn't necessarily be friends. I mean, even by the way we dress, we don't even dress the same, so why would we be friends? And I know that that's stupid now, but thinking back, that was the most logical thing I could come up with. But here's the thing, whenever I did reach out, it turns out we actually had a lot in common. And actually now, years later, we are still very good friends, and we are very good friends. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this movie taught me that the value of the holidays and how it's not about gifts, but that's not what the holidays is about. It's not about anything material. You can have literally the most amount of material things and money in the world, but it wouldn't matter if you have nobody to share it with and you're ultimately alone. It was only through reaching out and becoming vulnerable with another person, a complete stranger, that I was actually able to form a very good friendship and actually grow as a person and become better than my former self, who was actually immature and such. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even be talking to you guys if it wasn't for Sam helping me out with like my confidence and such. Anyways, I know that I'm rambling on, but I just decided to make this video because I thought that you guys would like it, and this movie actually made me think. Anyways, I gotta go, but I will see you guys in the next one. Anyways, catch you later. Bye-bye.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area. This area is not good either. I hate this, but I'm mainly worried about this.